You belong to God. You have faith in God. You have this sense of overall protection and security and safety and this containment with God. Nothing else. There's no worldly concerns that can shake you. There's no worldly concerns that will scare you, because everything on the inside is with God. The outside, you can be however you want. You can be as flowing, as vulnerable, as soft and loving as you can be, because you have no fear. It doesn't matter if someone hurts you. It doesn't matter if someone disobeys your trust or betrays you, because you know how strong you are on the inside. So today's video is about feminine discernment, possessing feminine discernment and balancing out the yin and the yang of your character in terms of your personal life, your business, your career, your social life, or your health journey. I'm Karina, I'm a health coach, and I have an emotional regulation course I just put out for you guys. Everything is going to be in the description box for you. Definitely check that out for emotional regularity, mastering your emotions, and regulating your nervous system. So everything is going to be in the description box. Let's get right into it. Okay, so let's set up a little bit of foundation here. So everybody and everything has yin and yang, the feminine and the masculine, the cool and the warm, or the cold and the hot. And it's about balance. This is a very important principle to build upon if you want to grow, if you want to better yourself in terms of your goals, if you want to better yourself in terms of your health. You need to kind of have these into balance. And first you need to discover, where are you on this spectrum and what parts are you not experiencing? What parts are you shying away from, or what parts are you not cultivating? Okay. On one side of the spectrum, which is your yin, your feminine, your cool, this is going to be the creative flow. This is what I like to say, the creativity, the inner knowing, the intuition, the part of you that feels like a flow. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like new ideas, new direction, new path, inspiration. That's the feminine side, the yin side. And this is also where you'd cultivate and grow that feminine discernment. And this feminine discernment is not only with women, but we're going to focus primarily on women in this video, but it's also with men. Having a balance between those helps you excel in your business, helps you excel in your health, helps you excel in just life, and finding your purpose in life, pursuing your purpose, getting closer to the best version of you. Now, on the other side, you have the masculine, you have the yang, you have the warm. And as women, we want to have a strong foundation of this warm, yang, masculine containment. We can create this for ourselves by setting up a structure, setting up routines, setting up some type of maintenance protocols for ourselves, goals, setting up some type of path. If we were to use a house analogy, this is kind of like the strong structural foundations of the house, and then the yin is like the decor, the scent of the home, the flow of the home, how you place the furniture, what you're cooking inside. The masculine is just like that. There, you have a house, and then the feminine is you're making it a home. Okay, so you can see this pattern in your own life personally. That's how we take this concept to the next level, is applying this concept and feeling it through in your own personal life, in your health journey. And it may be like weird to think of it. It's too abstract to think, how can you incorporate yin and yang in your health journey? Yes, there's a practical steps, which is cooling foods versus warming foods, depending on the season, depending on your health condition right now and how you feel. Circulation boosting foods, or foods that help with cooling the body down if you feel like it's too warm or too hot. In terms of your health, the masculine is kind of the structural routine, the goals that you have for yourself in terms of your physical activity or the foods that you're eating, macros, whatever your health goals are, your physical health goals. Maybe it means like every day you're journaling at this time. Okay. Now the feminine flow is listening to the body, listening to the needs of the body as they change. It's more of a flow and not a structure. And you begin to develop this feminine discernment by listening to the body, having periods of rest, having periods of slow living so that you can have stillness. And then when you have stillness, you're able to hear and listen to the needs of the body. If you feel like you're really in this period of rest, you need to rest. Or if you feel like you're in a period of creativity and you want to get that creativity out, you want to get emotions out, listening to the body. So that is the feminine discernment, the feminine flow. In this Western world, there is usually 9 times out of 10, there's something missing when we are working in a way that is too structured, too masculine. Even as women, we are losing this essence of the feminine flow and the feminine discernment, and changing course, changing our path. If the path that we're on is not actually our divine purpose or our higher purpose, we need to be able to recognize that. And that recognition comes with feminine discernment. It's not going to come with just following your goals mindlessly. And you guys know there's a time and place for that. You guys know I talk about that in my videos. Detaching yourself from the outcome of the goal and just pursuing the goal. Like, it's like you told yourself you're going to work out today, go work out. Don't think about, do I want to do it or do I not want to do it? This is the space for the masculine, the structure, the routine, the goals. And then we're also leaving space for the feminine flow. Balancing these out on a daily basis may feel very hard. It's like a little bit jarring because you're like, am I doing too much of the masculine? Am I doing too much of the feminine? Don't take it too seriously. That's number one. We don't want to cause any stress. It's very light and free flowing, and they both serve such an important purpose in our life. If we were all in the feminine flow as women, we wouldn't have any structure. We wouldn't have any containment. We wouldn't have any stability. And yes, that does come with your partner, but we as individuals still have to possess both sides. We still have to have both elements in our life. We still have to find balance between these two, because that's how we become the most elevated version of ourselves. And too much of anything is not good. So if you're too much in the masculine and you haven't tapped into the feminine flow, if you haven't tapped into any feminine discernment, then you're losing out on this entire aspect of your creativity and your expression of your emotions. Okay, another aspect to this concept is that the masculine, the yang, the warm, the container, this is the structure. It's structural for a reason. It provides you safety so that you can now utilize the feminine to grow. There's not going to be an expansion without the feminine in there. It's hard to expand and grow and develop with only the masculine. It's kind of like a plateau over time. It's like if you keep your money in the bank account and you don't invest it and you don't use it to grow anything else, you're just keeping it there, but you're also not spending it. There's an equilibrium. There's a plateau. And you know, if you keep your money in the same bank account, the same number, it starts to depreciate. So when you stop yourself from growing in life, you're also depreciating. It's like a fish swimming in one spot. Like, you have to move forward, you have to grow, you have to progress, you have to do new things to just sustain yourself, to not stay at this plateau, which eventually will just lead to depreciation. Okay, so you have to continue to grow, you have to continue to expand. That comes with tapping into the feminine, the flow, the stillness, the slow living. You need to have a balance of both, especially if you only live in the Western world. You haven't exposed yourself to any other slower living societies. You forget that the purpose of life is not just to put out outputs. Our purpose and our worth is not measured by how much we can put out into the world. You're doing a disservice to yourself if you view your purpose as just what you're doing at work or how much money you can make. That has nothing to do with your worth as a human being, as a spiritual being, as a child of God. That's great and that's fine, and that's like, we're helping the society that we're living in, but our purpose is so much greater than that. So don't limit yourself to these worldly goals. You have to see beyond that, and to see beyond that, you have to tap into both sides. When I say both sides, it doesn't mean you're sitting there and you're doing a deep meditation on how to become more feminine. It's you're experiencing this slower living. You're allowing stillness in your life. You're allowing mindfulness in your life. You're allowing yourself to contemplate and reflect and analyze and pivot and change course if necessary. And like I said, there is a time and place for both. I absolutely do the masculine. I definitely do have a bunch of goals. I have a structure for myself. I have a routine. I have goals that I'm like, I don't think about, do I want to do this or not? I just do it. And then on the other side, I allow myself to have stillness. I allow myself to tap into the body. I allow myself to talk to God. I allow myself to pray. I allow myself to go outside my comfort zone. These are feminine things versus masculine things, which is you're staying in the comfort zone. You're staying in the container. The container is containing you. It's keeping you safe. But growth doesn't happen in the container. Growth doesn't happen within the walls of safety. It happens outside. The next kind of part I want to go into is having strict values for yourself. Understanding what are your core values. What are the things that make you you? Away from your relationships, away from your partner or your children or your family or your friends, what values do you stand on? What values do you possess? What hills are you willing to die on? Understanding, what does that even look like? Like, what does it look like to believe something to your core? Do you have any strong foundational beliefs? And how can you now design your life around those beliefs where you are actually living in alignment with those beliefs? Letting those values that you have guide you, and having faith even when things feel shaky or things feel uncertain. Having faith This is not the masculine. This is the feminine. This is the strong ability to stay the course, to remain strong when things feel unstable or uncertain. The ability to be persevering outside the container, outside the realm of safety. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I have my emotional regulation course, and that's in the description box. And this may be the biggest step outside your comfort zone that you've never invested in yourself before. Maybe you've never done any type of emotional regulation course or therapy or coaching, and you want to do something that's outside your comfort zone, but maybe you don't want to jump into coaching. You want to do something personal on your own first. This may be the step that's going to bring you to the next level. This may be the step outside the comfort zone that's going to help you grow, help you expand. So don't shy away from things that you feel like, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay for that. Or I'm not going to invest in that. These are investments for your life. These are investments that are going to 10x. This is actually the most important things that you can put your money to, is things that are investing into you. When you invest into yourself, the ROI is so much higher than anything else you can buy. And especially in my emotional regulation course, this allows you to exercise the feminine flow. This allows you to fully feel and understand and process your emotions. This allows you to transcend the emotional states that you're in. If you're in a state of anxiety, if you're in a state of depression, it allows you to go above that by fully processing your feelings so that you know how to transcend them. You know how to go above them. You know how to be a master of your emotions and not your emotions are master over you. Going back to feminine discernment, I want you guys to set in place non-negotiables for yourself. When I say non-negotiables, we've talked about this in the past. These are things that you're not willing to compromise. So in relationships, this is something that you'd expect from your partner, or you just have on a non-negotiable list. That's like, you have to meet this or this relationship's not going to work. I'm not going to pursue this. Like, this person has to have this. I'm not going to be with this person for the potential that they could possess this. They have to have this. Okay, these are your non-negotiables for other people, but we want to have a non-negotiable list for ourselves. It could be the way we take care of ourselves. It could be the way we carry ourselves. It could be aspects of our health. It could be aspects of our boundaries or what we allow in our life, what we don't allow in our life. Could be with our connection with God. It could be with our finances. It could be with our career. And these are built upon your values, your core beliefs. This is how we develop what is a non-negotiable for me. How did you even come up with this non-negotiable? Usually because it stems from your values and your core beliefs. Okay, so that's why we're putting it after the core beliefs. This is putting you in a situation where you are following this list and you are holding true to your beliefs even when things are uncomfortable. This allows you to possess feminine strength. This is the feminine power that you're going to use for everything in life. When you follow these steps, when you follow this framework in life, this path in life, you will see how indestructible you become, how unshakable, how bulletproof your mindset and your character is. And this is also what allows you to keep pursuing your goals, to keep pursuing your purpose, even when things feel uncomfortable. And if it's outside your comfort zone, not always choosing the safe option, but going with the option that is actually going to expand you the most, that moves you towards your higher purpose, your higher self. Expand yourself. Stop choosing the safer option. Stop choosing the option that you're comfortable with. If something feels uncomfortable, and I talk about this a lot with my clients, if something feels like it makes you nervous, it makes you a little bit anxious, it makes you feel like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's too outside my comfort zone. That is what you need to do. That's the step that you should be taking, because that's what's going to expand you. And one more message for you guys is, I never want anyone to view feminine energy or being feminine as weak. There is absolutely no weakness that comes with femininity. Femininity is a flow, and there's no greater strength that can be shown to the world other than allowing yourself to be soft and vulnerable while remaining strong on the inside. I don't want you guys to think that you have to be soft on the inside and then strong and hard on the outside. No, I want you guys to flip it. We need to be soft on the outside, kind, loving, flowing, vulnerable people. And we are able to do this best when we are strong and indestructible on the inside. It comes from inner strength. That allows you to open up the most. That allows you to be vulnerable because you already have this inner trust and this inner confidence. You are God's child. You belong to God. You have faith in God. You have this sense of overall protection and security and safety and this containment with God. Nothing else. There's no worldly concerns that can shake you. There's no worldly concerns that will scare you, because everything on the inside is with God. The outside, you can be however you want. You can be as flowing, as vulnerable, as soft and loving as you can be, because you have no fear. It doesn't matter if someone hurts you. It doesn't matter if someone disobeys your trust or betrays you, because you know how strong you are on the inside. I'm going to leave that as the finishing message of this video. And thank you guys for watching. All my links are going to be in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video.